I'm at the bus stop at Salzburg, just outside Berchtesgaden, and the reason I'm sitting here is because I want to make a historical point. Beside me, on this other side of the road, we've got the Berchtesgaden Salt Works. It's absolutely fascinating. It celebrates its 500th anniversary this year. I've just been on a tour. You go underground, you get another train, and then they explain things, and then you go down a couple of slides, and funicular railway, and a little boat trip on an underground lake. Absolutely outstanding. And all the time they explain how salt is mined, and you see a pump which was in use for 110 years to pump the salt brine from here to Bad Reichenau, which is about 20 kilometers or so from here. Anyway, having said that about the salt work, you read about that. I'll leave you a link. Have a look at the link which will appear right now. Now, what I want to do though is to show you the mountain. The mountain up there, that's the Kehlstein. And right at the top there, we've got the Eagle's Nest. So that's what Bormann had built for Hitler. 1937, 38, 39. So that was Hitler's 50th birthday present from Bormann. Now what I want to do is to show you how absolutely ridiculous the idea of this construction was. Hitler started coming here to Berchtesgaden, in particular Obersalzberg, which is there, roughly, in the 1920s, 1923. In fact, he came here before the putsch. After the putsch and the release from imprisonment, he continued to come here on his holidays, and when he started to have some electoral success, he would even actually be here, and he would hold court here. People would come and see him here. The situation was so bad, for example, that Jewish neighbours of his were bullied and forced to leave by 1932. That was before the Nazis seized power. Now, once Hitler seized power, he bought the chalet he had been renting with the proceeds of his book Mein Kampf. And then what happened was that other people started to, all the hangers-on, all the glitterati, as I heard somebody describe them, all the bigwigs in the Nazi state started to come here as well to be close to him. Now, another thing that happened was lots of people used to come and see him. Führer tourism, so they get the train. In fact, the German railways laid on special trains, and so people come here. Just from 1933 to 36, they would actually wait outside his garden fence, and just to see him when he came out and all the rest of it. But after 1936, Hitler had enough of this, so he wanted to keep the riffraff out and put security in there. So he extended the Berghof. Berghof means mountain court. That shows the ideas behind the megalomania of the Nazi elite. And so people like Goering, Bormann and others built houses up there. Albert Speer had a house up there, although he said in his book he kept it at a discreet distance, so he didn't want to sort of associate too much with the other Nazis. That's what he said in the late 1960s after his release from prison. Thing was, his house was at a discreet distance, and you can still see it today because it's still standing. Most things have been now destroyed. At the site of the former Berghof, there is now a documentation centre. You can't see it from here, though it's hidden by the trees. Now, Bormann, who wanted to please Hitler, Bormann was to a large extent in charge of Hitler's dealings with the outside world, and it was Bormann who decided who Hitler saw and who he didn't see, and what petitions were answered. But even a bit later, by 1943, he was part of the trio who were running Germany, along with Lammers, who is also buried here, and the Goebbels. Now, Bormann decided he wanted to build that house up there. Now, you can see from down here how difficult that must have been as an engineering work to build a road up there. The road terminated approximately 130 meters from the house itself, and then there was a lift up. This was completed, a fantastic feat of engineering. And but what happened? Hitler went up there, decided that the air was too thin, he didn't like it, and in fact he only visited 12 times. So it was all for nothing as far as Bormann was concerned. Hitler didn't make much of his present. Nonetheless, Eva Braun liked it, and it was a great place for her to go. I mean, when she was living here at the Berghof and she could take her friends up there, she complained that she was living in a golden cage. Or she could take them down to the Königssee, and she liked going down there as well. So, I wanted to show you that, as I was just sitting here now, admiring the view, but thinking, how ridiculous to build that road up there. Another engineering marvel of the Nazis, and a complete waste of time of course as well, but these bunkers built into the side of the mountain. Now obviously the salt mines got tunnels built into the mountain as well to get the salt, which was, salt's there because it was once a sea, and before the Alps were formed, and once the Alps were formed the salt layers were covered, and so they've been there for these hundreds of millions of years. The Nazis built these tunnels, these air raid shelters, and you can see if you go to the documentation centre of Obersalzberg, you can actually go into the tunnels. You get some small part of the tunnels, but they have maps of showing how big all these tunnels were. Right, apart from that, apart from the Nazis, there's a lot to do here, and a fantastic place for walking. You've got the national park here. You've got this Königssee, which is an amazing alpine lake, 10,000 years old. You go out on a boat, absolutely outstanding. There's other museums as well. It's Haus der Berge, shows nature in Berchtesgaden. There's a couple of other museums, It's, in my opinion, it's a really it's an outstanding place to visit, not just for those such as myself who are interested in the Second World War and the Nazi state.